Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to cackle something that holds every single one of us back at some point, the spirit of fear. And using the incredible teachings of Apostle Joshua Selman as our guide, we're going to break down a blueprint to conquer this thing and finally unlock your destiny, which is really just you becoming everything you were meant to be.
Wow, this quote right here gets straight to the point, doesn't it? And look, we're not just talking about getting butterflies in your stomach before a big presentation. The source material is crystal clear. Fear is a force so powerful, it can put your entire life in bondage, trapping all your potential. The stakes really couldn't be any higher. So to defeat an enemy, you first have to understand it, right? In this first part, we're going to define what fear truly is and really expose how it works as this powerful system that can just dismantle a destiny before it even gets off the ground. Now, this is a powerful way to think about it. Fear isn't just a fleeting emotion. The source describes it as a complete condition. It's a spiritual force that creates a very real psychological prison. I mean, just think of someone like Gideon from the Bible, this mighty warrior whose incredible potential was locked away, not by actual chains, but by the prison of fear in his own mind.
Okay, so we know what fear is, but the real question is, how does it actually work? Understanding its process, its playbook, is absolutely the first and most critical step to taking its power away in your own life.
So this is basically fear's three-step strategy. It's not random at all. It's very deliberate. First, it gets into your head, and it hijacks your imagination, and it starts painting these vivid pictures of failure and disaster. Then, it uses those images to poison what you expect from the future. And finally, those negative expectations you hold, they become like a magnet, actually helping to pull in the very reality you're afraid of.
And this right here, this is that final step in action. Job's own words show a direct line between his inner world of fear and what happened in his outer world. The source really emphasizes this. Our imagination is a creative force. It can attract its physical twin, for better or for worse. Okay, this story from the source is just incredible. So there's this man, and he's climbing a super dangerous tower. Down below, there's a huge crowd, and they're all shouting negative stuff. Come down, you're gonna fail, you'll die. But he just keeps going, all the way to the top. So why? Well, it turns out the man was deaf. He thought they were all cheering him on. His inability to hear all that negativity became his greatest superpower, protecting his focus and his belief. So, how do we actually fight back against this thing? Well, we're going to break it down into three parts. And we're starting with the first dimension we have to conquer, that crippling fear of the past. This is such a key insight. You see, your past failures, your painful memories, they don't just want to stay in the past. Fear uses them like weapons, constantly trying to project old failures onto what you're doing right now, trying to convince you that tomorrow is just going to be a repeat of yesterday. Now, what a fantastic example of just flipping that script. Instead of letting 6 failures define them, the creators made that whole struggle part of their success story. It's such a powerful lesson in perseverance, you know? It proves that your past doesn't have to be a life sentence. It can literally be the foundation for your biggest success. All right, so we've started dealing with yesterday. Now let's tackle the next big one, the fear that paralyzes us right here, in the now. This is all about the fear of taking action and what people will think. This is a big one for so many of us, isn't it? It's that fear of looking foolish, of being misunderstood, or of just not fitting in. The source material argues that anyone who has ever achieved something amazing has had to find the courage to be a little controversial, to push forward even when people just don't get the vision. I mean, just think about Colonel Sanders for a second. Here's this older, retired guy with a chicken recipe. Imagine how easy it would have been to listen to that fear, to worry about what people would say. But he didn't. He ignored all that potential ridicule, he pushed on with what he believed in, and he built a global empire, late in life. We faced the ghosts of the past. We've dealt with the pressures of the present. Now for the final frontier, conquering the anxiety and all that uncertainty that comes with thinking about tomorrow. Yeah, this is that little voice in your head, the one that's always whispering, but what if it doesn't work out? It freezes us by making us focus on everything that could possibly go wrong. The key here is to realize that the answer isn't knowing the future. It's building trust in yourself, that you can handle the unknown. It's about consciously shifting that inner question from, what if I fail, to, yeah, but what if I succeed?
I love this quote because it totally flips how we think about moving forward. The goal isn't to be some flawless professional who never gets anything wrong. The goal is to be a champion learner, someone who just keeps moving, keeps growing, and isn't afraid to fail forward. So the practical takeaway is this: start treating mistakes like data, not as a final verdict. Every setback is just feedback. Ask, what did I learn from this? Not why did I fail?
And that brings us to the final question, and this one is really for you to take with you. After breaking down how fear works and looking at the strategies to conquer it, past, present, and future, the only thing left is to apply it. So just take a moment. If fear was completely off the table, what's that one bold step, that new beginning, that courageous move you would make? Right now, today.